And I've changed my beers this time because last time people were telling me that Antarctica is not that good. But I like Antarctica. I mean, I'm not that crazy about beers. Like obviously I like to drink beer, but I bought these because they were on offer, and I bought like 6 of them. And I like penguins too, and they got penguins on the front, so that's why I bought them. I bought some other ones. This one I've had a few times. It's okay. I bought the Indian Pale Ale version because the lager version tastes like shit. I didn't like it at all. I prefer Antarctica. And this one, this is another Pale Ale. I haven't tried it yet, but I will try it. I'm not drinking beer today because it's early, so I decided to go for a little coffee. The Brazilian way, cafe, a little small cup. And this one I've had before, which isn't bad. It's another option for me. I like a bit of variety. So there you go. That's my beer selection for today, but I won't be drinking beer today. Maybe I'll have one later, but not right now. It's 11 AM, so you know, English people like to drink, but not that much. I mean, some people do, but not me. Today, in my lesson, I'm going to go over a few things that I've been studying, but I also want to go over the English sound of TH, because I've been reading and hearing that a lot of foreign speakers who don't speak English, a lot of people that are learning English, struggle with the TH sound. So I'm here to help. First of all, I must say that I am by no means a teacher. I'm not a language teacher. I'm not a teacher of any kind. So my advice is going to be the advice of your average Englishman. And I don't actually pronounce TH correctly. I pronounce TH words with an F. So I've got some examples here. We have fault, thirsty, and thank you. You may notice the way I pronounce those words is with an F. Fault, thirsty, thank you. Now I can tell you the correct way to pronounce those words is thought, thirsty, thank you. You have to put your tongue between your teeth and you kind of just push out a little bit. Thought, thirsty, thank you. Like that. But for me, I've spent like my whole life saying thought, thirsty, thank you. And I know it's not the correct way, but equally someone will understand you if you do say it like that. I mean, I'm from Bristol, in the south of England. I grew up in Bristol. I lived in London for like the past 10 years. And I think I've only ever been corrected twice on the way I say these words, because I say it with an F. Another TH word is that. So it kind of sounds like zat, zat. Same kind of movement with the tongue towards the teeth, like, but you kind of just do it a little bit more, less, not so much like, it's more like zat. Just push your tongue up to the top of your mouth and say that. And then a few more words I have. Bathtub, marathon, birthday. Again, I'm saying it with an F, which is not right, but you know, I've lived my life so far saying it like that, and I don't get too much criticism. So if you want to say it like that, if it's more comfortable to say it like that, then don't worry about it too much. I mean, it depends. If you're taking a test in English and you are being assessed, then of course you'd be wrong to say bathtub. But if you're living in an English speaking country and you say bathtub, marathon, people are 100% they're going to understand. I'm sure of it. At least if you're in England anyway. But I will tell you the correct way. Bathtub, marathon, birthday, birth. So with the tongue again, it's quite simple. Obviously I grew up speaking English, so for me it's easy. Perhaps a few more words ending in TH. So cloth, beneath, and tooth. Again, for me it would say tooth, like T-O-O-F, tooth. It's the way I say it. The correct way to say it is tooth. But like I said before, if you say tooth, they're going to understand you. in my opinion, if you said tooth to me, I would understand. Okay, so that's the TH sounds, and that's my little bit of English advice for anyone that's learning English that is struggling with the TH sound. Back to Brazilian Portuguese. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I have been learning over the past week. I did a little video about verbs, I touched on that. So during my lessons we are now using verbs in full flow, and I'm expected to just know from the preposition what verb to use and how to conjugate it. So I have some examples here. Eu gosto de estudar. Okay, so one thing we talked about here is when we say use the verb gostar, it's always followed by the preposition G. So before, when I learned how to say I like, I might have said like, I like eu gosto cerveja, but it was wrong. I like beer. It was in English, simple, I like beer. And I translate to Portuguese, eu gosto cerveja. But the verb gostar always has to be followed by the preposition G. That's what I've been taught. So, eu gosto de cerveja. Some other examples. Ele gosta de escrever. I like to write. Nós gostamos de comer em casa. We like to eat at home. So, we have the verb gostar changing because of the preposition. Eu gosto, ele gosta, nós gostamos. But something I noticed is the verb estudar and escrever in eu gosto de estudar. Ele gosta de escrever. Estudar and escrever are not changing. This is confusing for me. Apparently, I did a Google search on this, and these verbs are infinitive, so I'm not entirely sure of the rule here, but my understanding is that in this instance they do not change because they're coming at the end of the sentence, and the verb gostar is being conjugated by eu, ele, and nós. So that verb is changing, but escrever and estudar coming at the end of the sentence as an infinitive verb is not changing. I don't fully understand this rule, or if it is a rule. If anyone could comment and maybe clear this up for me, that would be great. So the simple thing with that was understanding the verb gostar is always followed by the preposition G. That's something that I now fully understand, and I'm very happy with that. Muito feliz. So let's have a look at the sentence. The book is on the table. So we have on, which is the preposition, and we have the, which is the definite article. In Portuguese, these are combined. So for on, we have in, and for the, we have a. In equals on, a is the. So let's combine them. Na, im. So im plus a equals na. So in Portuguese, we have o livro está na mesa. The book is on the table. We are combining on and the, so kind of make it one word, if you're going to think of it, translating from English to Portuguese. So na means on the in feminine, and then we have no, which is masculine. And then the plural versions where we combine os and as to make nos and nas. Yes, 4 different words for on the. So, let's go through. M plus O equals no. M plus A equals na. M plus os equals nos. M plus as equals nas. So the sentence is plural, and you're saying in the shops, you're going to use nas for lojas. It's plural. So combining M, in the, as, nos, nas. It's really confusing for me. So I'm going to go through some examples of how to use them. Ele compra livros na livraria. He buys books in the bookstore. So na livraria equals in the bookstore. singular feminine. The next one, eles bebem cerveja no bar. So that's he buys books in the book. Excuse me. Eles bebem cerveja no bar is they drink beer in the bar. No bar equals in the bar. Singular masculine. No singular masculine. Next one. Lucia estuda nos Estados Unidos. Let me try that again. I'm not comfortable with my pronunciation with that. Lucia estuda nos Estados Unidos. Unidos. So that sentence is Lucia studies in the United States. Nos Estados Unidos. In the United States. Plural masculine. United States in Portuguese is always prepositioned with nos. It's masculine, plural, and every country has their own preposition which is fixed. Moving on to the next one. Eles compram nas lojas. Eles compram nas lojas. They go in the shops. Nas lojas equals in the shop, plural feminine. Nas lojas is in the shops. Shops is feminine, and lojas is plural, so shops. So we use nas. So that's examples of when to use those prepositions. As always, very confusing for me, but again, something that I've learnt in the past week and something that I'm now trying to familiarise myself with. At first, imagine when I seen like these M plus O equals no, M plus A equals na. It looked like a math equation to me. I was completely confused. So to be able to understand them is, for me, is a big achievement. Anyway, that is what I learned. It's not the only thing I learned, but it's the kind of things that I felt was most important to me, because the other kind of stuff was just pronunciations, which obviously I'm always happy to practice, and I'm quite happy with my progress. For me now, it's just kind of understanding all these prepositions, depositions, and whatnot. Those are the things that are confusing me the most at the moment. But as I always said, I'm determined to get my head around them. The next episode, I'm thinking about just talking about Brazilian food, because it's something that I'm really enjoying, Brazilian food. Can I do my own lesson in Brazilian food? I think it's easier. I love food, and I love Brazilian food. One of my favourite things at the moment is pastel. I actually used to eat this a lot in London, because where I live, there's a lot of Brazilian cafes, and they sell pastel, coxinha. Pizzas are a whole new journey, and I'm enjoying pizzas because they're completely different in Brazil. I tried chocolate pizza for the first time, and I thought it was just going to be pizza with chocolate, but no, it actually had cheese on it, which was a bit of a surprise to me. And of course, the more traditional food, feijoada e arroz, com carne, churrasco, all these things I love as well. So maybe I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in my next episode and discuss the Brazilian food. What else? Nothing else for today. So subscribe to the channel, Fale com Jake. Comment if you want to help me out and give me any tips. Comment if you want to talk about your favourite food. Let me know your favourite food. Until then, see you guys in the next episode.